What's up, guys? It's Sam Talks Games, and today I want to talk about how I think the gaming industry is in a really, really bad place right now. So, we've seen all these new game releases like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Gotham Knights. There's a bunch of games that have come out, they've flopped. Exoprimal, um, live service games specifically, but also just some games in general that cost a lot of money to make. Spider-Man 2 did not flop by any means, but Spider-Man 2 was actually one of the fastest selling PlayStation exclusives, if not the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive. And they laid off workers from Insomniac Games. PlayStation also closed the London studio. It's it's crazy, and there was a lot of layoffs in 2023 as well, but 2024 has just been almost every day there's been a new company laying off workers. PlayStation, EA, all these big companies, specifically Western companies. But I feel like it could hit worldwide, this gaming industry slump. I know a way out of it, but there's no way these developers are going to take that way. So, alright, let me explain something. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Live service game. Flopped. Big failure for Rocksteady. It wasn't Rocksteady's fault. It was Warner Brothers for pushing that onto them. Hogwarts Legacy came out in 2023. Big success. Highest selling game of the year. Sold more than The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Warner Brothers, after these two games came out and they knew the results of both, they want to pivot towards live service still. That's incredibly stupid. That's an incredibly stupid oversight. And I feel like this just highlights the big problem in the game industry now. These developers think that they can jump onto the live service train, but people just don't have money to spend on live service. The reason Helldivers 2 is so successful in a live service game is because it's not predatory. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend any money, actually. You want to buy a skin for your character, it's a couple bucks. It's not like 20 bucks. I mean, a couple bucks, if that. It's like, sometimes it's $1.49.99. It's like dirt cheap. And then the Battle Pass, the premium Battle Pass for that game, doesn't really give you all that much more than the free Battle Pass. It's just really to support the devs. I mean, I think that's how it should be done. You should be able to play the game as is. And I think live service is just a big part of why the gaming industry is in a slump right now. Also, just these budgets. Developers are focused on hyper-realistic graphics. We want to make everything look like real life. We want all these textures. And I think Sony's to blame for this, because Sony's the first ones that really push for this. You could argue other series have, like Metal Gear Solid, but I don't think they really impacted things as much as Sony. Sony came out with God of War 2018, Spider-Man PS4, Days Gone, Horizon, stuff like this. They're like, we want to push hyper-realistic graphics. That's what people want. Everyone wants these hyper-realistic graphics, right? So we gotta do it, even if it costs us. But now we're seeing Spider-Man 2 cost $300 million. The Last of Us 2 cost, $200 million. Like, when's it gonna end? What is their PlayStation 6 games gonna cost? $1 billion? Like, it has to end at some point. So, why not just focus on your games and not getting every little texture fully realized. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm sure this game wasn't cheap to make, but you can see that they cut corners in places with like textures and stuff, which is fine. The game looks great still. It looks phenomenal. Art direction is what matters, and Rebirth has the art direction. So I'm just really confused on why Western developers specifically want realistic graphics even at the cost of their development team and all that. And another thing to consider here is with all these layoffs, games will also start to come less often, meaning they'll be taking more time on games, meaning it takes them longer to make their money back. So the next Spider-Man game, for example, could take, I don't know, 6-7 years instead of like 4 years or something like that, you know? The next God of War game, you know, they haven't laid off any Santa Monica, but, you know, it could take like 7 to 8 years instead of 5 years. And then we're just in a situation where we're just sitting here waiting. And it's all because they're focused on these hyper-realistic graphics and they're focused on live service. And they don't know that that's not the answer. And they just keep focusing on it. And I don't think it really has much to do with the game developers. Like, once again, it's the publishers. It's the people in charge. They're so out of touch with their consumers, it's insane. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about what I think involving the game industry. And I feel like we are headed towards, I don't know if there's going to be a crash, but there's going to be a big drawback in the game industry very, very soon. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys.